All right, let's talk about a fundamental concept in React called purity. What is purity? Well, in computer science, a pure function is a function that, given the same input, it always returns the same result. So if we call a function 10 times and every time we get the same result, we say that function is pure. But if we get different results at different times, we say that function is impure. Now, React is designed around this concept. It expects every component we create to be a pure function. So if you give it the same input, like the same props, it should always return the same JSX. And this is for performance reasons. So if the inputs of a component haven't changed, React can skip re-rendering that component, okay? But how can we keep our components pure? Well, we should keep any kind of changes out of the render phase. Let me show you what I mean. So for this demo, I've created a very simple message component where we render this piece of text, message followed by the count. Now, count is a variable that I've declared outside of this function. Now, in the app component, we have 3 instances of the message component. Now, if you go back to the browser, look, we get the same output, the same JSX markup. So this is an example of a pure component. However, if we come back to the message component and update the count variable as part of rendering this component, now we get a different result every time we call this component. So this is an example of an impure component. So to keep our components pure, we should keep changes out of the render phase. We should not change any objects that existed before rendering, like the count variable here. But note that it's totally fine to update an object that we create as part of rendering. For example, if we move this declaration down, now we are declaring the count variable as part of rendering, and it's totally fine to update it here. Because if we go back to the browser, look, again, we get the same result every time we render a message component.